Well, today wraps the first week of Ken Paxton's impeachment trial. We heard more testimony from a whistleblower today as the suspended Attorney General faces 16 articles of impeachment related to bribery and allegations of corruption. Here's a live look at the Senate floor of proceedings right now. Testimony remains underway with David Maxwell on the stand. He is the former director of law enforcement for the AG's office. Investigative reporter Tanya Iser is providing gavel-to-gavel coverage on our WFAA Plus app. She joins us now. And Tanya, you've been watching this all day, all week with experts by your side. What can you tell us about the highlights of the trial today?
Well, actually, those highlights are happening right now. The testimony from David Maxwell is simply riveting. He is like you said, the former director of law enforcement. He's a former Texas Ranger and a 48-year veteran of law enforcement. And what he's describing is how he was approached and asked to investigate by Paxton. He wanted him to investigate these allegations from this friend and campaign donor, Nate Paul. And Nate Paul was alleging that law enforcement, that the FBI, that a federal magistrate, that all of these people had altered a search warrant. And let's take a listen to what Maxwell said to Nate Paul and to Paxton.
My evaluation of the allegations made by Nate Paul is that they were absolutely ludicrous, without merit, no probable cause, not even reasonable belief that a crime had been committed.
Did you at some time tell General Paxton what you thought about this idea of Mr. Paul, that there was a vast conspiracy against him?
Yes.
What did you tell him?
I told him that Nate Paul was a criminal. He was running a Ponzi scheme that would rival Billy Saul Estes, and that if he didn't get away from this individual and stop doing what he was doing, he was going to get himself indicted.
Yeah, this testimony from David Maxwell, again, just simply riveting. And he basically said that he knew when he did not do what General Paxton wanted him to do, he knew he was going to be fired, and he was, in fact, fired. I'm going to bring in Ed Loya, who's a former federal prosecutor, investigated public corruption, and Katie Sherrod, who's a political expert. Ed, I want to start with you. As a person who's investigated public corruption, how extraordinary is what we've been hearing today?
I think it's extraordinary in terms of public corruption cases. The hallmarks of a public corruption case, and again, this is not a federal criminal public corruption case, but the hallmarks of a case is that you have a public official, you have an outside of the government, a third party, in this case Nate Paul, who's offering things of value to that public official, and that the public official is receiving those things with the purpose of being influenced in his official duty, and that the public official is engaging in an official act. Those are the elements of a public corruption type case, and I think you see those allegations being played out this week in this impeachment trial, and I just think that similarity is striking. And this week, I think the witnesses have really focused on the official act, component of that equation in terms of what they were asked to do on behalf of Nate Paul at the Attorney General's direction. Okay.
Hey, Katie, what are your takeaways from what you've heard today?
From Maxwell particularly, I think he has been just a riveting witness. He is unshakable. He exudes integrity, and he has a sense of humor, and he knew what he was doing. He knew that it was going to end in him being fired, that it was going to end his long, honorable career in law enforcement, and he never blinked, and he's never wavered, and his testimony has been the same. This again illustrates that we have people who were aligned philosophically with Paxton, who could not go down the road Paxton was forcing them toward because of they feared that Nate Paul was influencing Paxton into doing illegal acts. And again and again and again, that's the story we're hearing of people who were in line with Paxton's vision for his office, yet they could not go this far.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Katie. And back to Morgan.
All right, Tanya, thanks. And you can hear more from Tanya and our team of experts on our streaming app, WFAA+. You know, thousands of people are watching her discuss the trial with our panel of experts as it's happening. You can also log on to watch live coverage on our YouTube page.